I want to commend Elon because he's done a fantastic. He doesn't need this. You know, he's abused by you people every day. He's found more things than anybody could find. I think he's got the credibility to do it. I know he does.
So now Elon Musk garnering a lot of praise from the Trump administration. First 3 weeks, rooting out government waste. And now the DOGE leader is setting his sights on an old limestone mine, Boyers, Pennsylvania, north of Pittsburgh, used to manually process retirements for federal employees. Here's Elon.
There's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. This mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, then the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down and then, sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this.
So now the CEO and founder of Azoria's James Fishback is with me now, also an outside advisor to DOGE. And James, good morning to you. I was checking it. You've offered to take Vivek's spot on DOGE. You want to run for the Senate in Florida. And also I mentioned you're an outside advisor. I think a lot of people on the outside, and you know what Democrats are saying. They feel like you guys are DOGE is taking pot shots at programs that are important to people. How do you get to be a part of DOGE? Like, who says, let's go get James Fishback and put him on the job?
Well, good morning, Bill. Good morning. It's ultimately President Trump's decision, but I got to tell you that limestone mine in Pennsylvania is maybe the perfect analogy for this rotten federal bureaucracy. Think about it. It's burrow deep. It's antiquated, hard to find, and even harder to hold accountable until now. And that's why President Trump and Elon are doing this incredible work with DOGE. They've uncovered a $2 million pottery craft in Morocco, a $7 million EV charging station network in Vietnam. Taxpayers send $5 trillion to Washington every year, and they demand respect and transparency. And DOGE is delivering exactly that.
Okay, so here is an article from the Washington Post 11 years ago. On the mine specifically that you just mentioned. The mine is real. The process inside it belongs to a stubborn class of government problem, old breaking points, built-in mistakes that require vital bureaucracies to waste money and busy workers to waste time. I guess the folks who work there may not feel that way, but they tried to digitize all this back in the late 1980s and basically gave up on it. And now you think about what USAID is doing, and I just want to share this with our viewers, okay? Because we've heard a lot of noise out of the continent of Africa this week. 2 hours ago on Reuters, Nigeria says they're going to make a provision in their budget for $200 million that would fill the gap from the missing USAID money. And the reason I bring this up is for those who believe this is moving so quickly, how would you assuage them that they will not be the victims in the end?
Well, the thing to focus on here, Bill, is that these countries are already making provisions because they never really relied on this money in the first place. It was the Fred fraudsters and the Stan swindlers who were using these resources and essentially squandering taxpayer money. Nigeria is a successful country. They have the resources to prioritize their own people, just like we have the resources to prioritize our own people, whether they're in Western North Carolina or in Southern California. And so what DOGE is uncovering is this wasteful spending, and I have no question that the countries that were recipients of this money will find a way. But I got to tell you, the EV charging station in Vietnam or the DEI musical in Myanmar, those are not requirements for the Vietnamese and the Myanmar people to succeed. What they need is a government that works for them, and President Trump is forcing those governments to reprioritize what is actually needed for their country's success.
They're going to have to sort through that on their own, right? Individually, each country is going to have to make some decisions here. Last hour, the country of Colombia says it's losing $70 million, and on it goes. Last question for you. Is it practical to think that we can save $1 trillion? Or in the end, is it more like if you get halfway there, you'll be satisfied with that?
I'll put it to you this way, Bill. In 2019, we spent $4.5 trillion as a country. Our federal budget was $4.5 trillion. It's now $7.5 trillion. So all we have to do is to get back to where we were just 5 years ago. It's 100% doable. DOGE is the beginning of that, but Congress has to act as well. And it's good to see U.S. congressmen like Brandon Gill on the DOGE subcommittee step up.
Okay. James, thank you. I guess
My
you got
pleasure.
the thumbs up from the president, and that's how you get on the team. That's what I take away from that first answer. James Fishback, live there in Tampa. Thank you, sir, for your time.